I'm so glad to be here. And excuse my people, it has been a long Saturday. So,
No, it is fine. We know you are busy and you are out there working. We're just glad that you were able to join us.
no problem. I'm honored. I really am. Thank you so much.
So, we know this is a topic that is really on the rise for a lot of people, and that's
Hmm.
entrepreneurship, owning your own business, owning your own
Right.
company. A lot of people out here on their grind, as people say, trying to get the bag. And so, we really are just wanting to talk to you because we know that you've started your own business, Body by Megan. And so, we want to give you the opportunity to tell us a little bit more about how you got started, what your business is, and just give some tips to some of the fellow entrepreneurs out there. And so, of course, so we can just start with you just tell us about Body by Megan and how did you get started?
So basically, Body by Megan, I kind of, let's see, let's take it back. So I started my business back in 2017. So that's when it started, and it was originally Beautiful Lash and Wax. So that's where it started. And over the years, I kind of, started to gravitate into new things. So I was like, okay, I think like at the end of 2019, I was like, okay, we're going to rebrand, so let's change the name, let's change the colors, let's add some services, things like that. So that's when Body by Megan came about. So I added the services. So I do full body waxing, I do lash extensions, body sculpting slash contouring, and I recently added on the post-op care. So basically post-operative. So the ladies that have gotten surgery or any type of cosmetic surgery, I take care or I do all that post-op care for them, like their massages, things like that. So I really wanted to change the name and rebrand into something that was a little bit more broad, just in case I wanted to add on different services. And I'm also going to be bringing on Yanni steaming too. So kind of trying to create a one-stop shop. But yeah, so I pretty much picked up in 2017. I also have a bachelor's degree in marketing. So all of that, so the background, the customer service, the retail, all that kind of encompassed like all of that. So that's basically what Body by Megan is. It's just like a one-stop shop for all your beauty and body needs. So
Awesome. And so, what kind of just got you started?
oh my goodness. So it's so funny because I never saw myself, like my main service right now is full body waxing. It's crazy because I never saw myself doing that. Like ever. When I got out of beauty school, I was like, no, I would never wax. I would never do this, blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't until I think 2018 and I was 26 and I was living in my folks' house. So I was like, okay, well, I need to, I want to get an apartment, move out, get a new car, all of this stuff. And that's when I went to European Wax and got into it and saw like the demand for it and talking to other people and, seeing what these other entrepreneurs were doing. And I was like, maybe this is something I need to go ahead and jump into. And so that's kind of how it fell into my lap, and I just started seeing other entrepreneurs and the services they were adding and things like that. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I think I could do that too. And this goes hand in hand with that. And so it's just like the full circle. It just brought it all together.
So, having a few years under your belt, what is something that you wish you had known at the beginning in 2017 that you didn't know that would have made just things so much easier?
Girl, that is such a good question. And it's crazy because it's like I'm just learning that like right now. Like right now. The main thing is separate, or I should say, take your emotions and your feelings out of your business. Because, and I say that just because I'm such a nice person. I'm kind. I can somewhat be a pushover. And that I have learned has caused me to be overworked, underpaid, and it's learning. I've learned, so it's not anything that I regret or anything. It's just, okay, I've learned that I need to disassociate my feelings and my emotions with this business. Because if you let people run over you, if you let people, work you to death, you will get worked. They don't care. I mean, not everybody, but people just want what they want when they want it. And so they don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning. They don't care if it's 12 o'clock at night. Can I get waxed? Can I get a service? Can I do this? I got to go out of town. I got to do this. I got to do that. So just separating those two and putting your boundaries down, because like I said, I always feel like I don't want to be mean, or, I don't want to charge so much because I don't think they're going to pay it. Learning, like, set your prices where you want to set them. Like, this is your business. This is your policy. These are your rules. These are your boundaries. If they don't want to follow them, then that's not your client, and you can't adjust yourself to what everybody else wants, And I say, like, when I say it took me a while to realize that and be like, okay, I got to put my foot down. Like, I can't do this. I have to charge a deposit. I have to do this. I have to do that. And, it kind of, it's kind of, I don't want to lose anybody. I'm going to, trying to cater to my clients instead of, okay, they need to respect my business. This is my business. You don't treat a doctor's office like this. You don't treat this like this,
No, yeah,
So
totally understand that.
that's the main thing that I have learned. And ever since I have learned that, it has just become smoother. Some people will try you, and, you just have to learn, like, these are my policies. These are my rules. If you don't want to abide by them, then respectfully, you can go somewhere else, or, So, yeah, that's my main thing I have learned.
Well, no, that makes total sense. You always hear about people saying, hey, if you're going to do business with your friends, or do these, businesses that are small businesses, you have to abide by their policies.
Mm-hmm.
And so kind of going into that same framework, I think a lot of people they're afraid. Oh, did we lose Megan? Let's see what happened.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
Look, we all are experiencing technical difficulties these days. That's fine. But one thing that we notice with people, and we hear all the time, who are like, I have this idea, or I want to start this business, but they're afraid of something. Usually that's something being failure. And so what would you say, kind of going back into the learning aspect of things, what would you say has been your greatest failure?
My greatest failure, probably the financial aspect of being an entrepreneur. Well, I mean, it's multiple things. But that's probably number one. Because I say with entrepreneur, this is the most money I've made ever as an entrepreneur. So, entrepreneurship has its rewards. It has its worth. It has its perks. It has everything. But if you don't know how to manage yourself and your business and your finances, I mean, it falls apart. And I've been known to be a spender, and I know that. And so it's like, oh, I got this money. Let me go buy this. I'm gonna make it back tomorrow. And you can't think like that. So back then, learning, and even now I'm still learning. I just hired a CPA I'm like, because I can't do this stuff. Like, I can't keep up, But basically things like that, because there would be times where I find myself running out of product or running out of material or supplies. And I'm just like, you can't run a business and run out of material. It's like, you're a waxer for a living. How you run out of wax or you run out of sticks, which that has happened. And with me, I'm so cautious and so cognitive with my business. And I'm like, I never want to be that person that people go talk about, like, oh, how you run out of wax, or how you run out of stick, or she never prepared, or So I have had multiple incidents where that happens, and I'm just like, oh, I'm not gonna get nobody, or I kind of underestimate myself and run out of a product or run out of a supply, and I'm just like, I'm gonna have to reschedule your appointment because I'm out of this or out of that. So financing, probably just like I said, spending money and thinking I'm gonna just get it right back, and like it's not growing, not having a business account and not knowing about, business credit, and it's just, that has always been my biggest thing with entrepreneurship was that I'm trying to see that, and like advertising, marketing, that was another thing. But thankfully, and I'm so grateful that my business grew basically off word of mouth. And also COVID was another thing that really helped my business. I know it kind of ruined a lot of people's, but it really helped mine. But I think, just thinking back, I think that was probably my biggest failure, And like I said, I'm still growing and learning in that aspect. So.
Yeah. And again, just staying right on topic with that growing and learning, a lot of people, they don't really know which way to turn when it comes to like their educational background and knowing that they want to be an entrepreneur. Everyone that wants to start a business doesn't necessarily need to go to college. And so you did go to college, and you've also gained a lot of other certifications under your belt. So talk to us a little bit about your educational background and how you feel like that prepared you for this business, but also what are different areas of education and certifications that other people can kind of look towards.
Right. And so I had this conversation the other day with someone, and I'm never the one to tell somebody don't go to school. Like, school can always be beneficial. I thank God that I do have a bachelor's degree and an education to fall back on. I got my degree from Mississippi State University, and I have a bachelor's in marketing, so business administration. So I have a business degree. And there was one point in time, like when I went to aesthetic school and I was in beauty school, there was a point in time where I just felt like everything that I had went through was a waste. I'm like, well, shoot, if I was just going to do this, then I should have started earlier, or I hate myself for starting so late in life, and, things like that. But I often think back. I went to school, I got a marketing degree, I have a business degree. After school, I started working straight into retail. Then I went to banking, and then I went to, customer service, a lot of retail, like little stores and stuff. And I always I wasted my time. But now I think back and I'm like, honestly, every step that I went through to get myself here, like even going to aesthetic school, beauty school, working at Sephora, working at Ulta, all these places, it put me in a place where it all just came together. It all just comes together. Like, I thank God for this marketing degree and my business degree, because now I have to market my own business. I know how to run a business from those tools they gave me in college. The customer service, the retail jobs, the job working at the bank. I take care of my own money. I know how to deal with customers. I know how to deal with people. I know how to talk to people. I know how to combat, negativity or things like that. So all of it prepared me. So I thank God for my degree. But like I said, I would never tell anybody not to go to school or knock education. However, to become successful, I'm not going to sit here and tell you got to go to college. You have to go get a 4-year degree. An associate's is just as good. And if you don't do an associate's, get a trade. These trades out here these days are making people rich. I mean, like I said, I have a trade. I went and got a trade. I have a license in aesthetics. So it's under the barber and cosmetology. I have a license in aesthetics. And at this point in my life, with that license in aesthetics, I have done the best I have ever done in my life. I think, like I said, I never will down. I love the fact that I have a degree. I love that. And I will always have that. Nobody will be able to ever take that from me. But the fact that I went and got that license to become an esthetician and doing what I'm doing now, and like I said, I never saw myself here. It's something that just kind of fell into my lap, honestly. And I have done the best that I have ever done. So, no, you don't have to go get a 4-year degree. You don't, to become successful or to become an entrepreneur. Now, if you do want those extra tools, you want that, that fallback plan, if you want to call it, or that extra education, then yeah, go for it. Go for it. But do you have to have it? No. Some people would even say college is overrated at this point, because shoot, I'm still paying for college, and I'm not using my degree. But it's like I'm using it, but I'm not. I'm thinking I'm going to be working in corporate America somewhere. That's not the case. I'm over here in something totally different, you know. So degrees are good. School is always good. You can always learn, but do you have to go and get a 4-year degree? Do you have to go to college? It's not necessary, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, you can go get a trade, you can go get certifications, you can take classes, it's whatever you want to do. So,
and I would definitely say, like, within this world that we have now, there's so many classes just online.
exactly. Like, sit at home and go to school. Like, school is always there. School is always there. Like, I had at one point, wanted to become a nurse. Like, I wanted to go to nurse. I had started pursuing. I was taking classes. I was doing all of this, doing all of that. And, it was more so, for me, it was more so the services that I wanted to also offer. I wanted to turn Body by Megan into almost like a spa, like a medical spa where I did more advanced services, but I had to be a nurse to be able to, do those services. But now I feel like I can't do that just because my business is at a place where it's growing, it's flourishing, and it just needs me, and it's not really even people are like, oh, nurses make this, they make good money. Yeah, it's not even the financial aspect of it. I'm kind of already where they are. It was just more so of the always having a backup plan and always having a job security and also being able to do certain services, But, unfortunately, I don't have anybody else working for me, so it's just me. So I can't really take the time out because nursing school is demanding.
Yeah.
Classes and clinicals and just taking the time out to study. And the way my business is right now, like, I barely have time for myself. And I'm in a transition right now where it's going, really well while I'm trying to add services and my clientele is growing and I'm about to move into a bigger space and, things are changing, so it's a great direction.
It sounds like again, your business is booming and you're just being so successful and you're getting more and more clientele. And so that moves into our next question of how did you market yourself? So you talked previously about starting at word of mouth, but like for someone who's like, I don't have any connections, I don't know who I would tap into, like what's the best way to market your company?
So for me, it has been, just for what I have been able to do myself is, so of course, social media. That's one of the biggest platforms that we can use. Passing out business cards. Honestly, word of mouth has been my biggest form of marketing. Like I said, so when I left, I was working at a chain. 2018 through 2019, October 2019, I decided to leave that chain because it was we were underpaid, too much work, overworked, underpaid type of situation. So I decided to leave. And when I left there, now I know you're not supposed to be doing this, but my people, I was giving them my business card, make sure, here's my card, blah, blah, blah. So I finally left. And so the next year, following year, 2020, February, March, COVID hit. So I had took it upon myself. I started waxing out of my apartment. So I was in my apartment running my business.
Mm-hmm.
And literally people that, that chain, other places had to close down.
Mm-hmm.
Those women, we couldn't get our wax. And if you get waxed, if any of y'all get waxed, y'all know it is essential. You cannot mix your wax appointment or go too long. So people started finding out that, oh my gosh, she's waxing. I found somebody who's still waxing. Like, she in her house, she in her apartment, So once that started, that's when it's like boom, 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 boom. Like it grew so fast. August 1st of 2020 is when I moved into my suite. And so I was like, okay, I got to try to get my word out. Like, of course, people still telling their people, telling their friends, telling their families. And so every time somebody new comes in that I wax or provide a service to, I always ask, so how did you find out about me? And it's usually, oh, my cousin told me, or my friend told me, or my mom comes here. Or recently I started running Google ads. I started running ads on Facebook instead of just posting it on my page. With this algorithm, with Facebook and Instagram, it's like at this point with businesses, if you don't pay for your advertisement, it's going to get knocked down to the bottom. So I started paying for the ads, and people were seeing it like that, paying for Google ads. I also have a YouTube channel. So, I mean, I don't have the biggest following on YouTube yet. I'm trying to. But I mentioned myself on YouTube. But I'm still like constantly looking for ways to market and to advertise and things like that. Like I'll put my cards, if I can leave my cards somewhere, I'll put them there. I've recently started seeing that placing a business card in Target in certain aisles, and stuff like that. So people, little things like that. So I'm always thinking of different ways to market, to advertise, to do things like that. But honestly, my biggest form has just been word of mouth. And as a marketing degree, that's the biggest form of marketing. People going to talk about, even though people going to talk about a bad thing before they talk about a good thing. But once they find something in this area, they're going to spread it. And especially when being like, a woman of color, being African American, people love that. People love supporting the small Black businesses, things like that. I support any business, and any business matters, but it's like, people just love that.
Yeah.
That's what's been my biggest form as today, like even now.
I love that. I just love your story. I love your journey. I know we've been friends for a while, and so it's been great just watching you and your business and seeing how it's flourished and how it's grown. And so I'm glad everyone else has been able to kind of hear from you. And so before we leave today, what are 3 tips that you would want to leave someone who's thinking about starting their own business, or someone who has just started their own business and they're still kind of going through a rocky start?
Yeah. So 3 things that I could probably say is just be you. And as cliche as it sounds, it's the truth. Like, honestly, just be you. Stick by everything that you stand by. I'm a very customer service forward person. I take pride in customer service. I treat all my clients with the respect, the dignity and everything like that, especially with what I do. You have to have that. But I think a lot of people come to me because of me. It's like, it's plenty of people that wax. It's plenty of people that do the body sculpting, the lashes. But I think they come to me for me. And they have, if I don't ever brag. I'm very humble, and I always remain humble. If you look at my booking site and you see the reviews, you're going to see one thing that every person says: she's so sweet, she's so kind, she's so professional, she's so caring, she's so gentle, and you have to be like that with your business. So you just have to direct the way you want your business to go. So one would just be, be yourself, be you, be genuine. 2 would just be remain open-minded, remain, what's the word I was just about to say? Just be headstrong. Like, don't ever let anyone try to walk all over you or anything, because people will try. When you work with the public, people will try you. They will try me. They will try you. Remain strong in your business, and that's what I mentioned before. Pull your emotions out of your business. It's business and it's personal. It's never personal. It's always business. Stand your ground. Even in the beginning, I know you're gonna be flexible with stuff. Things are constantly changing, but just stay headstrong and be so be yourself, be genuine, stay headstrong, be open minded. And the last thing would be, I'm a Christian. Keep God first, because if it wasn't for God, I would not be here right now. And it's crazy because I see the steps that I have gone through in my life, in this journey, that is I can't take credit for it. Even because I remember the day that, and I love to share this story, the day that I decided to leave the franchise. I'm just saying, Wax Center. That's where I was at. The day that I decided to leave that franchise, it was a Wednesday night, October 2nd. And I had been thinking, I had been having a real feel. I was at the point, I was miserable. I was just miserable there. I knew it was time for me to go. I was trying to give them 2 years. I was at a year and a half. One night, the night I was sitting there on my evening shift, I was playing with my books because I was like, you know what, I'm not going to be here next week. I'm going to be doing my own thing. I'm be in my business, be doing my own thing. So I had accidentally opened my books for that following Wednesday night, the following Thursday. I meant to open my books for that next Thursday. And I think I had something due, like I had some type of bill due. And I was just like, you know, oh, this is kind of steep. I'm not going to be able to make it, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I'm very independent. I don't like to ask anybody for anything. I was sitting there, made a mistake, opened the books for the next day. I was supposed to be at work the next morning. Next thing I know, I opened them up and the whole day booked up. The exact amount that I needed for that bill was the exact amount of people that I needed, or the prices for the services was exact. So the count that I was like, that was just my confirmation. So that next day booked us. So I was like, I went home that night and I texted my manager. I'm like, I'm not coming back in the morning. That'll be my last time. And I hate I had to do it like that, but the way they did me, I'm just kind of like, and I don't mean to sound like, well, y'all did me like this, but once I got that confirmation from my God, I was just like, I'm done. And ever since then, I'm where I'm supposed to be in life. So those are just my 3 tips, you know, and we're starting up a business, or, you know, whether you're deep and established in your business, either way, you know, just keep those 3 things in mind and in place, and don't ever budge on those 3 things.
I love that. Well, I'm confident that any young entrepreneurs that have logged on, or even those that are seasoned, learned something, or were reminded about something dealing with why they want to start their business, or something, just a tip that'll help them to get through. So thank you so much for coming and just sharing your journey today.
I appreciate this.
Before we leave, we want to make sure that our followers in your area know, or if some of our followers are visiting your area, they know how to get in touch with you. So give us your information. Where are you? How can people get in touch with you to book?
Okay. So my Instagram is body, BODI by Megan B. I'll kind of type that in here for you guys. And it's the same thing on Facebook. It's Body by Megan B. And also my booking link is also in my Instagram bio. I'm in the works of getting a website built now. So once I get that, that will be on my page. You guys will be able to visit that, and that will have all the links and everything that you need to know about. A contact number, I will put that in here as well. You can text me, you can call me if you need to inquire about anything. And also, like, my email address, I will add that as well, so that you guys are able to get in contact with me, and whenever you're in the area. So I'm trying to think of anything else.
Did you say where you were located?
Oh, I did not. I was about to say, I am located in South Haven, Mississippi. So I am in Mississippi, right on the state line of Mississippi and Tennessee. So I'm in South Haven, Mississippi.
Right outside of Memphis.
Yes, right there outside of Memphis. So yeah, I'm nowhere.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you, Megan, for coming and sharing your wisdom with us. Thank you, anyone who was able to view our live today, as well as those who view it in the future. And we hope you were able to gain something from today.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Toria. I really appreciate it. And like I said, if you guys ever want to get in contact with me, there's some of my information. And just go to my page and you'll be able to get me and contact me there.
Awesome. Well, you all enjoy your Saturday night.
Thank you. Bye.